Hello, hello. Is anybody out there? Feel like going live today just to see if anyone's out and about and ready to chit chat. I already got my little glass of wine. It's a small pour since I've been out to lunch today, but it's a pour. Funny thing is, I legit have nothing to actually talk about other than just having a good time. It's a good weekend. I'm not at work today, which is cool. And I won't be in tomorrow. I have some meetings and stuff that I have to attend. Unlike some of you people that stay at home, all you stay at home, oh my goodness. Let me tell you, sometimes I feel like things get misunderstood while I'm on here. So, in case it seems like I'm hating, I want to clear that up. I don't want you to think I'm hating. I'm actually is. I'm hating on all of y'all that get to work from home. I did it for 1 year and loved it. Loved it in terms of keeping my house clean and all of that. But in terms of the social aspect of it, me being a teacher, yeah, I didn't want to be with the kids. I can admit that. But I love being at home. I'm a person like when people say the pandemic and stuff really just took them out. It didn't bother me that much. I don't know if I'm a strange bird because of that, but I create a home where I'm cozy, I'm comfortable. So I can, if I'm being really honest, the pandemic didn't have on me the effect that it seemingly had on a whole lot of other people. But anyway, I see some people here. Say hello. Who's there? As we get ready to wait and hope more people come in. Is anybody out there? I don't want to just talk by myself. So hopefully notifications are on and people will stop by. I have not been doing a whole heck of a lot lately. Not a lot to vlog about at all. Like going shopping and stuff. I'm getting real good about saving my money. I even saw, oh my gosh, it's been the most exciting thing I've seen because I'm not a real TikToker, but I've seen where they have Hillman Talk University, I think they're calling it, where a whole lot of professors and people are chiming in and they're literally, well, not even technically professors, but people who are good at a skill or a craft or something. They're chiming in and they're teaching people about different things. So I peeped in on a lady, and I cannot, her name escapes me. I'm so sorry. But I got onto TikTok for the purpose of finding this lady who I wish I could think of her name, but I can't. But she does financial advice. And so I think she's starting off super basic in terms of don't spend money, understand your net worth and all of those things, teaching you how to figure that out. I love that. And so I watched that. So far, I'm liking it. But it's sad for me to see and hear that maybe some people are trying to monetize it. I don't know how that works. But I think they're trying to copyright the name and all of that. And I mean, I get it. People want to make money. But the beauty of it to me was that it seemed like someone saw a need. Someone saw that people are interested in a learning and they offer their services for free and people are jumping in because there's always this saying, if you don't want certain people to find things out, put it in a book. But I feel like people are thirsting for knowledge. They're trying. They're clamoring for that. And I'm here for it. I love that. I wish there was a way that I could offer my services, but how do I teach being a teacher? You know what I mean? Like it's actual coursework and all of that stuff and examples you would have. But if I had a skill, gardening even, crocheting, knitting, something like that, then I would probably get on there and do it. Just for the love of learning and the community just coming together to say, hey, we want to learn something, we want to know something. But the financial thing, yeah, I'm definitely listening to that. I hope it gets more advanced later, and then I'll see what that's about. Fingers crossed. But shout out to the people who came up with Hillman Talk University. I might be late to it. I think I am late to the party. I just heard about it. But like I said, I don't do TikTok. So there's that. I'm expecting that some more people will come in with different names to do for the same purpose of learning. I hope they do. I also hope a lot of people take it up. And if it is getting messed up by people trying to monetize it, which I don't think I understand it because I feel like if you're on TikTok and people view you, like you, and it's not subscribe, it's follow. I think it's called follow on TikTok. If they do that, does that not make the money already for you? Or are there outside people trying to monetize? I really don't know how that works. But I'm just hoping that more people go ahead and join and do it for the love of learning. You know what I mean? Like just learn a skill and just try to do better. Because this whole, I don't know, I don't want to get preachy, but just try to do better, live better. Make 25 that real year of progress. There's a lot of pocket watching. I call it pocket clocking. There's a lot of envy. There's a lot of stuff that if you turn your head and focus on that, it'll derail you and it'll turn you from what you're actually trying to do. So, but then you got to ask yourself, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to better yourself with it? And if so, I feel like that's a good way of doing it. I think it's interactive. I want to say the comments are what kind of further it. That being said, I actually didn't make a comment on that particular post, and they're short. I'm wondering if maybe that's a whole TikTok thing. I don't know. Let me stop talking about it. Let me find something else to talk about. What's going on? I see people in there. Nobody's chatting with me. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. I came on here for no valid reason. None at all. So I can't even think of a topic off the top of my head to even get into. Let me try to think it over though. Y'all know I can chat. Mm-mm. Come to think of it, I was just chatting about TikTok, wasn't I? I'm trying to see what else can we talk about. I don't have much going on next month. I'm getting ready to go for spring break, and I'm planning a trip. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to go, but in the spirit of just being out and about, I met a lady who's a travel agent. Won't say her name right now. Maybe if I use her, I will. But she's a travel agent, so I'm going to have her look into some different trips and things that I can do for where I want to go. And I'm last minute. I'm not as last minute as some people. I know some people who literally book a couple of days before. So I'm not that last minute, but I'm a little last minute. While I was at lunch today, I overheard some people talking. We was all in that conversation. But one person was talking about another person who's weak. I'm just jumping subjects because the thing that got me thinking about the people at lunch is the fact that I went to the place where I met the travel agent. So walk with me on this winding road. But they were at lunch and they were talking about another person and that person being weak and how they just need to stand up for themselves and they need to do whatever. So I think the plan that these two ladies came up with was they're going to do an intervention of sorts. That's what they were calling it. And they're going to talk to the person and try to basically what we call put a battery in her back. So they're going to put a battery in her back and try to get her to embolden herself to go and talk to these other people about stuff. And I thought that's kind of strange. One thing I know is you don't really want to tamper with weak people. Like a lot of times people, if you have to instill the strength and the energy for someone to stand up for something as simple as themselves, like to me, that should be an obvious and a given. You should stand up for yourself. If they're not, the first time I see someone who's not standing up for themselves, the first thing I think is, what's the strategy? Because a lot of times people play possum, they lay low. We heard about Muhammad Ali, how he kind of laid low and let his opponent wear himself out. So I'm thinking of it in that mentality. I like boxing. Forgive the boxing reference. But you think of people doing that. That's the first thing I think of. And then once you see that now this person isn't necessarily laying low, they're just taking all the punches and all of that, then you start to think, oh, okay, maybe this person actually is weak. I need to distance myself. Because contrary to what people say, weak people are not necessarily weak. Well, they are weak. But I would say weak people are not necessarily harmless because that's what a lot of people think. They like to keep weak people around them and all of that, thinking that they're harmless. And I don't think they are. I think a weak person is harmful in the sense that they're still here. They're a survival of some sort. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that they're feeding off of? And a lot of times, weak people feed off of other people. They will drain other people of their energy. And I was sitting there thinking about it as these women were continuously talking about this weak person and what they need to do to get her together. And we're going to gather her up like a ponytail and all of that stuff that they were talking about. I thought, man, y'all sure are spending a lot of energy on this weak, harmless person, right? Here you are, you're two strong women, you're two empowered women. You're going to set her on the road to recovery from her weakdom. but they're spending a lot of time talking about it. And I was just like, yeah, that alone tells me weak people feed off of something. They're consuming something, and the thing they're consuming is you. You know, they strength and thrive off of it. So, hi Reba, how are you doing today? I'm just on here rambling because I jumped on the live without a conversation in mind. So, I'm hoping that some of my friends will see a notification. If not, y'all ain't got your notification bells on. I thought we was friends. Y'all ain't. So clearly you do, and you see me. So how are you today? I'm doing pretty good. I was just saying I went out to lunch, had a little bit to drink, and then I was talking about what we're talking about, and I might be having a little more to drink. I actually didn't pour a whole lot in here. I just wanted a sweet wine to sip on while I'm talking to y'all. So that's what I'm doing. What you been doing today? Mm-mm-mm. I did get out yesterday. I think it was like 50 some odd degrees yesterday. And I should have filmed it as I say that. Maybe if I have a little bit of time, I'll film it for just a little bit because it'll get dark here pretty soon. It'll get dark in the next hour. But I was out yesterday. I was probably out for a couple of hours skating around, zooming. And it's hard. Like it looks like we just put the camera down and record, but I gotta put the camera down, adjust it, make sure I'm in the angle, go check myself. Oops, nope, I'm not there. Scoot the camera a little bit, go check myself again. Okay, yeah, I'm there, but I'm there only if I stay within a certain range. Let me change the focus. And then if I skate off, I gotta bring it back again and change the angle. So it's a lot involved just to film me skating. And I was like, as much as I love my friends, I'm just skate. I'm just get out here and move my body. And that's what I've been doing. Reba says she is wonderful. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I'm like I said, I'm doing pretty good. Skated, did not fall this time. I don't even usually almost fall. I was just tripping. When I fell before, it was because I was on the steps. I was trying to be cute and show out. But that's about all we got going on. Hi, Blue Hebrew. How are you? I hope you're doing well today. But you caught me. Usually she does. Yeah, you caught me. I'm appreciating that. Glad y'all are here because again, I did not plan to go live. I just came home. I was like, I wonder what everybody's doing. It's early. Let me get because usually I don't get off until another like 30 minutes. I work at a late school. And so by the time I get home, it's like 5 o'clock, and I don't know what other people are doing. Y'all are busy living your lives, I guess. I almost got on live Saturday, I think, but I was like, oh no, Saturday, I know everybody's out shopping. Pull them skates out, girl. Don't think about it, just do it. Pull them out, roll around. I was saying I didn't fall. Yay, me. But yeah, I like getting out doing fun stuff. And so I just kind of assume if I want to go live, other people are doing fun stuff too. And I can't think of a good time to go live. I get off so late, everybody else is off. And I feel like y'all are at home. You're probably starting dinner. So what is that? Sunday? Y'all might not be heathens like me. I don't go to church every Sunday. I pray. I love me some Lord. I'm spiritual and I read, but I don't go to church every Sunday. I don't know what happened. I I can definitely say the pandemic had an effect, but I had slowed down some before that. Like I'm just being honest. When my daughter was little, I wanted to be able to say that I raised her in the church. So yeah, she definitely went to church. We went to Sunday school. I was on the usher board. I was on the choir. She was an acolyte. She was also in the choir. Like was she a kitty usher? No, but she did a whole bunch of other activities. So I feel good that, yep, I raised her in the church. I can say that. But then once she was able to start going on her own, I kind of fell back myself. I did. I let life and some other things kind of get me into it. I won't say, because I know a lot of people that went to church a lot and they stopped going when they saw hypocrisy or they saw how people were acting. It wasn't so much that for me, because I've always known that you really see what you focus on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's people who are hypocrites and all that stuff in church, but they're not my focus. So I don't really see them. It's more of a good morning. Let me go sit down. I got my certain pew, my area I like to sit, especially if my daughter was up front being an acolyte. I wanted her to see me supporting her and all that stuff. So yeah, I didn't focus on that. I was focusing on the word. But I will say this, and I think this is a huge part of why I stopped going to church so much. Um, I like Sunday school more. I found that I liked Sunday school and Bible study more than I actually liked church. And then when I started weaning from church and going to Bible study, I had some college courses. That's what it was. And the college courses kind of got in the way of me having enough time to do that. The college courses were the same night as Bible study. And I think once I started realizing that I like intensely studying more than just kind of being in the church, it changed things. And then I would have friends sometimes invite me to their church and I would go, never thinking about joining their church. Because one thing about me, if your church can't sing, please don't invite me. Don't do that. Don't waste my time. And don't make me sit there with that fake, all right. Yes. I don't want to hear no children's choir. I love kids. I work with kids enough. But I'm not trying to hear Jesus love me in the way that that don't do it for me. I want some real singing. I want the director's hands to curve when he's clapping. I want church. Really, you can take off that R. I just want church. And if it don't sound like church to me, I'm not coming back. And I don't think I'm going to be able to fake it and say I really had a good time with it either. So, church is more like a fashion show these days, more so than a house of worship. I did go to a church where people dressed up quite a bit. But then we also had our casual times. Like our preacher even asked us to come in overalls, pay homage to the ancestors. And we had certain themes. Now, I'm going to tell you, during football season, on any given Sunday, you was going to see that church full of Chief gear. And that was accepted too. So I don't know. It's a more relaxed church. I wish I could blame it on some other outside factor, but it's more so I lost interest when I started going to Bible study and Sunday school more. And then at the time I was married. So actually, yeah, that was disappointing too. So actually, I had started going to just a regular Sunday school class, and it was women's. I'm lying, it was a women's Sunday school group, and I really liked it that. But my ex-husband, who was actually my husband at the time, he wanted to go to Sunday school too. I guess because I was coming back feeling myself about it. And he was like, oh, we should go to couples. Ooh, just talking about that man got me choking. Mm. Mm. Woo! Look at that wine curing it. But I do have some tears coming, so excuse me for a second. And I can't get up. I can't get up. The truth always come out, don't it? I want to get up and go get some tissue so bad, but I don't have any bottoms on. Instead, I got my robe. My robe is tied around my waist because I'm sitting on my bench. And I'm wondering, okay, I guess I gotta tell it all. I can't tell part of the story. I'm one of those weird people. When I go out to a restaurant, for example, I don't know how many booties just done sat on that bench or that chair or that couch or whatever we sitting on. I just don't know. And so the idea of me sitting where everybody else done sat their booties on there, they could have had gas, they could have had diarrhea, they could have had any number of things. And now I'm gonna wear that and sit on my furniture in my bedroom. I can't do it. So I took off my bottom. Took off my bottom and kept on my top, not knowing I was gonna choke, start crying, and want to get some tissue. Okay. But anyway, let me go over here and read a comment or two since I'm talking about myself. Let's move over. You were over it. Okay. Saying trying to get back to some kind of life. Keeping you busy. Hi Serena. How are you? I don't think I spoke to you yet. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, my ex-husband, who was my husband at the time, wanted to go to couples um, Sunday school, which makes sense. I mean, we're going to church as a couple, which actually he hadn't been. He had just been. I could go earlier, and then he would join me for church later. He's like, I ain't trying to stay all day, and I didn't stay all day. It wasn't an all day kind of church. Like we had 8 o'clock service, which is what I prefer, but he didn't want to go to that, so I had to go to the 11 o'clock. And the way it worked was 8 o'clock service, leave service just in time for like 9:30 or 9:45 Sunday school. I think that's what it was. So that tells you church was only from beginning to end an hour and 45 minutes. And then Sunday school might have been another 45 minutes or so. Boom, we were done. And then they were getting ready for 11 o'clock service. But yeah, we changed that up. I started going to the couple Sunday school, didn't like that nearly as much. I mean, it was okay, but the people teaching it, And the class itself, they would often get derailed, and you could tell they were trying to use it just a little bit as couples therapy. Well, we supposed to have a why they love, but what about when? And they would start bringing up something that was personal. I was like, what about what it say in the book? Can we get back to the lesson? So, yeah, that kind of turned me off from all of that. But let me get back to the comments. Speaking of getting back to something, my comments over here are slow. I don't know what the deal is there. I can see them scrolling, but I'm crying too much to read my small print. Let me give it a try. She says hello right back. Let's see. I want to be able to laugh. Dang, what happened? It just got cut off. I can't see it. Well, that's weird. I was in the middle of reading and then it disappeared. There we go. I want to be able to laugh like this again. Hi, thank you for welcoming me. Yep, everybody's welcome here. Except the judgmental. I did go live one Sunday, trying to avoid judgmental people, hoping they'd be in church, but that's not a good time for me. So I was punishing myself. No, thank you. Was I talking about something before I got into the Sunday school thing? I can't even recall because it don't take but a little bit for me to just get derailed, and I'm derailed. But yeah, that's my whole take on going to church, whether or not I like it. If I was talking about something else and y'all remember it, just put it in there and I'll get back to it. Look at y'all making friends in the chats. I love it. But let me see what else. Kimberly, let's see. I do believe. Dang. Okay, so over here, the comment disappears and then comes back. That is very strange to me. Okay, I did not understand that. Let me try to. I want to get up and get my glasses, but I can't because once again, I just got my robe tied around my waist. I mean, it's one thing for me to tell you, it's another for y'all to look at it and straight up laugh. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. Why is it? Yeah, this is gonna drive me crazy now. There we go. Sabrina says she's 55 and starting all over again. I'm guessing you mean in terms of marriage and dating and stuff like that. You can do it. It can be done. There's a whole 50 some odd crew living our best good lives out here. It can actually be done. And a lot of times people act like the 50s is late or it's old or whatever. Now, I'm going to tell you what's a long sentence 10, 15, even 5. I'm going to tell you, even 1 year is a very long time to be unhappy. So when you think of it in terms of, yeah, we're 55 now, but how long might we live? We might live to be 70, 75, 80, right? I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I kind of look at it as my family and how old they are. And women in my families have rounded their 80s and are still rolling. So the idea that I could live another 30 years unhappily with someone, that's scary to me. I'm out here, like I said before, I don't know if you caught that part of it. I'm out here skating. I'm out here going to lunches, brunches. I'm doing all the things today. I said today because I read the word today. But yeah, that's a long time to be unhappy. And I think if we have an attitude of dang, I gotta start over, dang, I gotta do no, baby, you gotta pick up. It ain't start over, it's pick up. You're picking up on the second half of your best good life. Like all that stuff you did before, that was to teach us lessons and to get us prepared. Now it's time to pick up and run with it, and run you should. Start doing solo dates, solo trips, and all the fun things. I promise you, it gets better. When I think of the unhappiest or the loneliest periods of my life, it's only and always been when I was with someone that was not making me happy. That's the only time I've been unhappy. Only time I have understood what loneliness is. It ain't nothing like laying down next to somebody and you're not connecting with that person at all. Like when I tell you I used to want to turn sideways and kick him. I probably shouldn't say all that, but let me get back to the comments. See, y'all be saving me with these comments. Y'all comments distract me. All right, let's say not my choice, but no choice. I was there for over 30 years. Oh my gosh. That is a long time. I say the same thing though. I still say it's a blessing. It's not a matter of starting over. It's a matter of picking up and getting going. Because you sure didn't want to stay with somebody who didn't want to stay with you. Like, there are definitely worse things. Someone asked me what happened to my curls. Lazy. Lazy happened. I got my little piece of hair scooped back here. It ain't even enough to make a bun. But I sure did scoop it back there. And we rolling with it. Oh, let me see. Oh, this is delayed. That's why that's taking so long. Okay, let's say. I'm getting back slowly but surely. And that's all that matters is that you do. There's no timeline on getting back to that place called happy. I promise you there's no timeline to that. Mm-mm. No. And don't compare your journey to getting back to happy with anybody else's. You're 55. I'm sure I don't really have to tell you this, but sometimes we all need reminders. Like, I was just talking to a friend the other day about lessons that I keep having to relearn. And one of the things I keep having to relearn is, y'all, I keep having to relearn that when a person shows you who they are, because it's not so much that I don't see it and I don't understand it. It's that I'm like, dang, dog, you can't really be that, right? It can't really, like, you just need some, or maybe it's, but no, it's just that. And that's the thing. I keep wanting to, because when you have better and you feel good, you want everybody around you to feel good. And I just keep thinking, man, let me help this person by showing them, or, and I just have to accept now, leave them right where they are with their unhappy tails. That's hard for me to do that. Let me see. Hello, Intuitive One. I like that name. Let's see. Getting back slowly but surely. Right. Have no time to play with these dudes who aren't ready to be grown. There are a lot who aren't even interested in being grown. None whatsoever. They want to be mommied. I can't do it. Get somebody else. Let's see. I know, but the familiarity yep. Oh, I know about familiarity. I know all about that. It's familiarity. And what's another good one? Better the devil you know than the one you. Oh, I know all of that stuff we tell ourselves. Them is all lies. Them is lies, by the way. Who should you know better than anybody but yourself? Get familiar with yourself. Make yourself happy. It's all like, I'm not saying be selfish, but that's the first person you should be obligated to fulfill and to want to be with and to want to see happy. That's the very first one. And to see yourself happy, sometimes you got to lose a couple 100 pounds. Sometimes you do. So many men out here are insecure. That is an absolute fact. And think that their money covers for that. That's very unfortunate. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there were plenty of red flags. Yep, smacking me in the face. Look at us being honest, because, yeah, mine too. So one of my face ain't as red as them flags. Let's see. Hi, Kimberly. Please discuss parenting. What are some of the most important things you did to raise a healthy, happy daughter? She is healthy and happy. Thank you, Anastasia. She really is. Actually, I'm proud of that. That's probably the thing I'm most proud of. Let me get back to that for a second. Yes, Serena, and so many other issues. I'm trying to give grace. I don't know about that grace, but ain't nobody giving me grace. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. See a person for who and what they are the first time. We women are known for being soft and loving. I'm not saying all of us, but by and large. Like, anytime you say something, people are coming back with the what about, y'all are coming back with the exceptions. And I don't really discuss exceptions. I'm talking about the rule. And the rule of thumb is women are really nice. We're taught. Let me take a sip of this plausible deniability before I start talking about my job. If I wasn't scared I'd choke, I'd gargle with it. So anyway, here's an issue that I recently had. No, I didn't recently have it. I had it one time at a job that I worked one time some time ago in the past. So anyway, have my job, right? And we have an incident where a little boy is pulling the hair of a little girl, bothering her and all that other stuff. The boy's mom says what? You probably already know. Boys will be boys. And she also said something to the idea, well, that's what boys do when they like a girl. They pull their hair. That's normal. That's whatever. And I'm sitting back here thinking, like, I've heard this foolishness all my life, starting from when I was very young. And we still saying this. We still reading out of that page. Anybody turn the page yet or nothing? So the problem to me is that, what if we look at it from a different perspective? Because it's almost as if we're really teaching our girls that when a man likes you, he hates you. When a boy likes you, he does bad things to you. You just stick around. You just Hang in there, by golly, and it's going to get better. So I feel like we start getting that hang in there message very early on. He's pulling your hair. That's not that bad. That just means he likes you. And we're supposed to tolerate that? Like, honestly, think about what it is that we're actually saying. But why isn't anyone telling that boy, hey, that's not what you do. You like that girl, you go over there and you tell her. You like that girl, you go do nice things for her. If you like that girl, you like, why are we not having that discussion? Why is it about, boys will be boys. And when they like you, they just pull your hair, by golly. And you're just supposed to roll with it. No, I'm not teaching that message and I'm not passing that, which also goes back to the parenting message. But I saw a couple other messages scroll through. So let me catch them before they move on for me. Familiarity and comfort are destiny killers. You ain't lying, because if you're comfortable, you ain't growing. That's my philosophy on life. If you're sitting back, chilling and comfortable, so many people talk about living a soft life, this, soft like that. Soft life has its advantages, but there are some points that you need to feel something. If you ain't feeling it, you're not growing, in my humble opinion. That's just me. So yeah, I want to have soft areas of my life, but if my whole life is soft, I think I'm missing something. I need to be on the lookout for what is it I need to know. What is it? Like, I need to feel something. Nah, I don't need everything soft. Let me see. Kymberly, you are funny. That's funny because I'm just telling y'all some facts of life. I have 3 grown daughters. Thank God they turned out okay, in spite of, because I'm sure I raised them to be strong. But children see things, that's true, that we think we have hidden. You ain't lying, because even my daughter, when I was ready for a divorce, yeah, she knew. She knew. But what about when you, yeah, boy, bye. Yes, Reba, I feel very comfortable because I'm not this open at all. Yay! That makes me feel good. Genuinely, that does. Parenting classes should be offered in our public schools to parents 2 or 3 times a week, because the show enough starts at home. She put that in there. That's me. I put that in there because it starts at home. But at least hold on to parents' nights where parents can get together and vent their frustrations. But the thing is, they be sharing stuff that they ought not have to shared. These kids today are totally of a different breed. They are. So back to the question about parenting. So I was a somewhat older parent for my daughter. Like, a lot of her friends' mothers, no, yeah, a lot of her friends' mothers had been teen mothers and stuff like that. I was in my 20s when I had her, which really isn't technically old, but it's older than a lot of her friends' parents were. And I also had old school parents. My parents were old school. They were from the South. They didn't care nothing about being my friend, and would tell you, "Look, girl, I'm ain't your friend. Go sit your little tail." Like, they would tell me whatever it was. They had no interest whatsoever in being my friend, and so I took parts of what they did and knew and taught me, and parts of what I feel like were better. And I can say that today, my daughter and I are friends. But when she was growing up, no, we weren't friends either. No, you're gonna get this lesson, this blessing, this whatever God got me here for you to do, and then we're going to move forward with that. So as I was doing that, sometimes she would have friends whose parents would allow them to smoke weed with them. I don't even smoke weed. I don't like weed smoked up and through my house, on my furniture. I don't like none of that. None of it, none of it. So no, we're not doing that. She couldn't understand that then. We had a computer, and back then everybody didn't have a tablet and all that stuff. So it wasn't as hard for me. But the computer was in a room. Baby, I had the door taken off. I had my husband, you need to take that door off, because that's where the computer is. And the computer faced the hallway. So anytime I would walk by, I'm looking. And I wasn't even sneak looking. I'm looking. Oh, you looking at me? Look at you. That's fine. But I want you to know I'm looking. So it wasn't even a hidden thing. In my house, I also have a rule, and this goes for the husbands too. Let me see. Many parents don't know how to parent. Yeah, there should definitely be something for the ones who want to do better. And I believe there are a lot of parents who want to do better. I even believe the parents who aren't doing a good job don't know they're not doing a good job. I don't think they intentionally raise their children piss poorly. I just don't. I think they love their kids as much as any good parent loves their kid. They just don't really know how. So when you're coming from a broken spot trying to do a good job on, how you going to do that? There's no manual. They need a TikTok university on that too. But anyway, I had those kind of rules in my house. That's what I was saying. And that goes for my husband as well. Baby, there is nothing that can ring Nothing that can chime, nothing that can go off, alert, whatever word you want to use in my house that I can't respond to. So if his phone goes off and I want to pick that something, you almost made me cuss. I want to pick that something up. No, I wasn't gonna cuss, but I'm able to do that. And the same goes for mine. There's no hidden password and all of that stuff. You can have my password because I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing. But by golly, the same thing went for my daughter. In fact, when she finally got a cell phone, she didn't get one when she was very young, but when she finally got one, guess who charged it at night? Oh, baby, you don't need your charger. It's over here. It's next to my bed. It charges next to my phone. So we're not having that up all night. What you doing? What you wearing? No, you hang up. No, I'm hang. No, she wasn't having all them conversations because, like my mama taught me, ain't nothing open that late but some legs. And hers were not to be open. Let me stop and read some comments because y'all might be telling me, girl, pull it back. Don't sit, not nan another drop. Let me see. I really don't have an understanding of getting high with your kids. My goodness, yeah. I'm not your friend. I'm your mom. And he's your dad. I have 3 adult children, and in the midst of them growing up, I relocated them from Detroit to North Kakalaki. Best decision ever. Of course, I didn't know that then, but I'm glad. I bet you are. I bet you're glad. Old school parenting for the win. They had a whole thing going on about old school parenting and how it wasn't good and this, that, and the third. I don't know. I feel like graduation rates, maybe even prison rates. I'm not sure. I bet they say a little bit different. I really do. I'm not saying you should be hauling off beating your kid, within an inch of their life, but yeah, I wasn't afraid to whip out a belt if a belt was needed. But I say that, and literally, I can use one hand to tell you how many times I've whipped my daughter, and I'll still have a spare finger, maybe even 2, but at least one spare finger. Like she wasn't me. Let's just say that she was not somebody who required a whole lot of spankings and stuff to get it together. She and I had a whole lot of conversation, a whole lot of, things that I would just tell her about that I knew. As it stands now, as my daughter is an adult, does she know each and every tiny little detail about me? No. But she knows that this girl right here, she made some bad choices. She hung out with some bad friends. She liked bad boys since she was very small. I've been telling my daughter, choose your friends wisely, because I did. Everybody could be my friend. You want to be my friend and you got a criminal record? That's okay. I don't judge. You want to be my friend and you sell street pharmaceuticals? That's okay. Who am I? You want to be my boyfriend either? Ooh, that sounds exciting. Like I was into, oh my gosh, I know my one. Let me read some more comments. Let me shut my mouth. Ooh, let me drink and sip. Let's see. I'm extremely happy that I've met everyone here. Good. I will join again. Kymberly, thank you for your warm welcome. I'm glad to have found you, ladies, and have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Yes, Miss Reba, I see. I'm not sure what Reba said, but I hope it was something good for you. Let me take another sip that I probably don't need to take. But she was aware of a lot of the bad decisions I made. And I told her a lot of times. Let's see, hands have to be laid though. I have 2 boys. Ooh. My mom used to climb up on her chair and talk to my brothers. Because once they got to a certain age, they got to a certain phase, and she had to phase that right on out of them. Luckily, I never raised any boys. I did wish that I had other children, though. I talked about that in a recent vlog, I think. But I did wish that I had more than one child because definitely as I get older and I start thinking about my mortality, I'm like, dang, I just don't want to leave her and she not have someone else to comfort. But that's how it's going to work, baby, because ain't nothing going down. Let's see. Okay, Serena, gotta go. See you later. Take care. Thank you so much for coming in. And I mean that. Because I have a full understanding that y'all could be anywhere in the world and y'all choose to be here. I appreciate that. Got a text message coming in. I'll read that later. Sorry. But if you got my number, why you ain't on my live? You should know I'm busy. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff. And back to back. Let me just make sure it's not that important. That's kind of some of the stuff that I did to raise what I feel like is a better daughter, a better child than what I was. She's I say better daughter, not in comparison to other people's daughters, but a better daughter than the one that I was. Because I had a lot of bad ideas. I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm in Kansas City. I don't know if you all know that, but here I am in Kansas City. And at the time we lived, was that when we were living in Raytown, I think? We lived in a suburb of Kansas City called Raytown. My mother thought that I was spending the night at a friend's house in Raytown. Where was Kymberly in reality? Baby, Kymberly done hopped a flight to a little city called Los Angeles, California. I was on a flight to, I was off to California. I was there for days, actually. My mother didn't know. It wasn't no tracker in cell phones. In fact, I didn't even have a cell phone at the time. We had a cordless, baby. We thought we was doing the thing with the cordless phone. But I was all the way across the country hanging out with a bad boy who was picking up work and doing other, like I go on and on. And the story, it don't get better, it just get worse. The best thing I can say about all of that is I'm here today. I made it here today. Because another reason I'm really not judgmental is I've got friends who are not here today, who are not in my circumstance, who do not have the things that I have for no reason other than I feel like somebody must pray for me. That's it. Because when they were doing their dumb stuff, I was right there beside them. I was doing the same dumb stuff that they were doing. And I just so happened to survive it. I just so happened to beat the odds. I just so happened to feel like, you know what? Maybe I should go to that place called college. Maybe I should, because no one was really telling us you should go to college. You have the smarts to do this. You should. I don't, and I love my parents. My parents love me in return. But I cannot say that they were holding me accountable. There wasn't a thing where, hey, you got your grade card, didn't you? Run them grades, run that card to me. But there wasn't that. So I had to make sure I did that to my daughter. I even showed up to parent teacher conferences in high school. In high school, she finally begged me to quit. So I was like, I guess you're doing good enough. I'm gonna finally loosen the reins. But no, my parents didn't. My parents was, you talk about clocked out, or I don't know what to call it. But I will say I'm the sixth of six kids. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I might have, in terms of the sneaky stuff I was doing, I might have been the worstest of them all. I might have been. So let me take another sip because my glass is empty. And what am I drinking? The last of my Trader Joe's apple pie wine. I told you I was drinking something sweet. This is very sweet. If it was bubbly, oh my gosh. Trader Joe's, don't y'all never come out with a bubbly version of this because y'all gonna get all my little piece of change. Let me see here. And let's see, what is this? Reba said, and absolutely, I'm working. Got my notification. Hey, yes, I'm calling. I'm glad you picked up. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have a greater purpose. I don't know. I don't know that my purpose is any greater than them. I just feel like somebody really prayed for me. They did, because I was out there just doing the fool. Now, one thing I will say, I wasn't incredibly wild, loose, and free because unlike some of the friends in my friend group, I didn't undergo SA or abuse. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, I think people don't understand that loose women typically have a past of something that had happened to them. Like, who's waking up saying, you know what? I just want to give it up out of both draw legs. That's not, women aren't typically saying that. So when you see a woman in that kind of circumstance, chances are there's a little girl in her that was hurt. So I didn't have that. I was just out there because it seemed better than being at the crib. It seemed like something else to do. It seemed like another place to Los Angeles. I've seen that in the movies. Don't the Brady's live there? And like I wanted to get up and go. And I hung out with people who had the finances to get me there and do all the things. So I sure couldn't go with my broke self. Then had her to choose a broke career. I must not like money. Must not like myself, or I'd have found a way to get. Let me not rant. Let me stop. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, no, I was blessed, lucky, all the things. So 50 plus ladies, what's on the agenda for this second act of our lives? Traveling, having fun, meeting up with like-minded women. One way to do it is right here. There are a plethora. Well, is there a plethora? There are several, I should say, several ladies that I know of on YouTube who have started vlogging and discussing it. Some are married, and I don't have a problem watching some married people. I personally really love love. Second half of your life might involve you finding the love of your life. Like Don't let me have you thinking that it's just all about singledom. I'm not opposed to getting married again for myself, but best believe I'm gonna be reaching back and getting all these lessons that I've learned in life and bringing them with me. It's funny because I used to hear people say, I wouldn't be 20 or 30 again unless I could take all these lessons I've. And I was like, you lying, you'd be 20, 30 in a heartbeat. That was when I was 20, 30, and my breasts were up there with the heartbeat. But now it's like I fully understand. I get why they're saying that because it just being more knowledgeable, it just feels better. Things feel crisper. It's almost like it's so funny. My mother had cataract surgery, and as she came out of it and she was healing, she looked at a tree in her front yard and she was like, "Has that thing always been that green?" I looked over. I mean, oh, yeah, it's green. Mom. That's what having wisdom feels like to me. It feels like I'm seeing things, but a whole lot clearer, a whole lot crisper. It's in high def, like it's just gorgeous. So, what does life have in store, baby? Anything you want it to, for real. All the joy your heart can hold. I did say both draw legs. Oh, and I can't edit it because I'm live. Yeah, you're right. True love, true love is transformative and healing, very much so. Especially when that true love is self-love. Hello. Especially when it's self-love. I can feel where I've been scratching. I think I just saw a little light spot. But anyway, yeah, we had to try to slick this on back and put it in a little bun action there. We're gonna have to set it. Knowing me, I'll probably sit down, think of something to talk about, and set it to another video. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I take that back because me sitting down setting my hair, that video didn't perform as well. But you know what? It's really not about performance. It's really about sharing what I hope helps someone. I hope it helps. I really do. That to me, that's one of the biggest things I have a need for is I have a need to help my community. And if I can do that, and if I can do that with women, create a little community here on YouTube that helps, boom, says, me too. I love love. Never been married before. Oh, I don't know that that's necessarily bad because I know you getting me back to some of the. Let me take a sip. Mhm. Some of the most miserable people I know are actually married. There is no unhappy like unhappily married. I don't care what nobody says. And I'm not saying people who are married are unhappy because there are a ton of happily married people. I'm saying there is no unhappy like unhappily married. And I'm going to just leave it at that. I got some friends that I know are the true testimony to, and be the main ones trying to set somebody up. You want me to, I thought we was friends, but maybe not so much. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to leave it right there at that and take a sip. hmm My friend Blue Hebrew is saying that it's never too late, and that's absolutely true. You could be sent someone tomorrow. So here's the concern that a lot of people are saying. They're saying men who are older and have never been married are just bitter and don't nobody want that. And they're saying that there's the hospice wife, the fear of that. I'm gonna tell you this honestly. So I recently had dated a guy who was 60-ish. In the back of my mind, I'm already knowing if this goes anywhere, baby, we're going together. We're going together to get your physical results. Because as far as I know, I'm pretty healthy. So I don't mind sharing mine as well. But if you start talking about walking down the aisle and all that, yeah, we first gonna walk down the hall to this doctor's office, and I'm gonna have to find out what he's saying about you. Because don't be sitting up here at stage 4.5 of cancer talking about you want to get married now. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. No. So that's important to me. Let's see, Joe, you good? Hey, Joe. Can you sleep on live cam today? Yeah, I'm wondering if Joe is good too. But hi, Joe. Anyway, but yeah, that hospice wife, I'm imagining that that's a real thing. It seems like it would be a real thing. It makes sense. Like I don't think these women are getting out here lying. Let me start with that. So I would say, yeah, it's possible. I know of another gentleman who, bless his heart, was widowed. Things happen, and as a widow, he's even saying, I want to be married again one day. I got to let my heart heal. And then one day, I'll be married again. So there are different reasons why someone older might be single. Sometimes women flip out every once in a blue. It doesn't really happen that often. But sometimes circumstances and things just happen that someone ends up being single. And I know men who say, no, I'm marriage minded. If I wasn't married to my wife, I would have to heal that and then get married again because they're just marriage minded, kind of like sounds like you are. You might be older and never been married. That doesn't mean you're not someone who's a good candidate for marriage. You want to watch me sleep on my live, Joe? I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Why don't you go to sleep, though? You can go to sleep right now. Joe. Hmm. But that's a whole possibility. I would not at all rule that out. Marriage is possible. Life is possible. Someone asked before, what's happening next? What's the second half of the chapter going to be like? It's going to be like whatever you want it to be like. It's going to be as great as you want it, as great as you make it be. To me, it's just like what I said about church. I didn't see the hypocrites and all of that other stuff so much. So that's not what I focused on. So it's all about what you're going to focus on. Focus on that positivity, that joy, and being happy in life in general. Traveling. I took for the first time, was that last year or the year before? Years are starting to run together. I think it was my last birthday. No, I'm lying. It was the year before that I took my first solo trip out of the country. And I went to Jamaica, somewhere I'd been before, but I also wanted to blend in, right? And I sat on the beach, baby. When I tell you, I prayed, I cried. I'm not even sure I shared that before, but I just felt so at peace. I felt so light when I left that beach. It felt like I left a ton of cares in that beach. I had just started my YouTube channel. Of course, you have to worry about judgment and things like that. I told not even 10 people total so far. I still haven't told. And I was starting to ask myself, what about me gives me the audacity to do this? What am I thinking here? And I received answers and things that I hadn't expected. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. There was absolutely one negative thing that I saw on that trip, and that had to do with one woman not being a good friend to her friend. And I just so happened to see that. But as it pertains to me, nothing negative came from that trip. It was a beautiful trip. I do not understand people who do not enjoy solo travel. That escapes me, or solo dates. Now, I wouldn't say jump into solo traveling if you've never solo dated. I think there are a ton of benefits in solo dating. And for one, you hear things better within yourself. You know what I mean? Like when you're just moving about the house, you're always going to come up with something to do, da da da. But when you take yourself on a solo date, and you say your grace, you do all the things, there to me seems to be a oneness that you experience more. You just hear things better. It builds your confidence more. I feel like if you're looking to meet somebody, I've met several people during solo dates. Make sure you look nice, approachable. You're not sitting there, looking grumpy. You're not looking too bored. You're not scrolling through your phone too much. And yeah, I've met people, and that isn't even the intention. I just know that must be the why. I've also met people when I've been kind of busy because I have a gratitude journal. So I've been scribing it and writing in my gratitude journal, and someone has come up and, hey, what's going on with you? And they just strike up a conversation. I'm learning at this big old age. I'm learning the different ways that different races of people flirt. Because I've seen peach people come ask me questions. I just answer the question. I think, that's just that. I don't realize until it's about time to go. And they're like, hey, can I get your number to take you out sometime? And oh, wait, were we flirting? Like that's how that goes. So, yeah, there are many benefits. But again, I wouldn't go on a solo trip until I've built my confidence with solo dating, until I've gotten comfortable with that. And then for solo dates, sometimes you might want to go to a restaurant you've been to before, even if it was with your ex. Sit yourself at the bar, talk with the bartender and strike up a casual conversation, get kind of familiar with them, let them get familiar with you, and just build your confidence that way. Once you've done that, maybe you move back and you sit at a bar table or a bar top, those high top tables. Maybe you sit there Eventually maybe move back to a booth. I really don't care where I sit when I go to a restaurant. It's all about where the views are and the vibe and all of that stuff. But that might be something you have to build yourself up to. I'm kind of thinking my next solo trip is going to be somewhere like Paris. For whatever reason, Paris is calling me. And I haven't even typically wanted to go to Paris, but since I've never been to Paris, I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking that might be a friendly place to go for a solo date. All right, Reba said, I have all of my facilities, so don't come to me to me broke. Mm-hmm. What you focus on will expand. I agree. So if you don't want to see it in your future, don't entertain it now. Absolutely love that piece. Love that. I find myself writing my thoughts down more. Me too, halfway because I get forgetful. That half of the reason is because I'm getting forgetful sometimes. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a part of that menopause happening. I don't know. But yeah, I do. I write my thoughts down a lot. White men are more subtle. Yeah, I'll have to go on. Yeah, but it's strange because it hadn't always been that way. Because I remember going to a McDonald's. So I had a McDonald's kind of around the corner from where I just be talking. I'm sorry. But I had a McDonald's around the corner from a school at which I worked. And I would dash over there, go to lunch sometimes. And black men would be like, yeah, so how you doing? What you up to? You know, what you doing? Standing in a whole place called Mickey D's, getting ready to place an order, my brother. What do you think? I'm doing lunch. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing lunch. What you doing? And let me tell you something. I know I'm being derailed, but one more again on this derailment train. So one thing I will say about dating that I'm not quite understanding is all this talking. Yeah, I know there's a thing called the talking phase, but I don't understand all this talking in a talking phase. And this is the part where I'm starting to feel like I'm a rude. Like I have to. This probably be what I talk about when I set my hair, because now I done got myself in the tither, and I'm thinking about it. But I'm starting to feel like I'm a rude because don't keep calling me. Don't keep texting me. Don't send me the WYDs. Don't ask me what I'm doing and how I'm doing. Good morning, beautiful. Good night. Don't keep all of this action going. That's strange to me. That's minimal effort. That's BS is what it really is. I'm gonna call it what it is. It's a bunch of BS. And I don't know if that's what's going on out there in general. I just know it's not what's going on right here. We're not doing that over here. So you want to know what I'm doing? Baby, you should know because you see me. You should see me cutting into this steak. That's what you ain't got to ask me what I'm doing. You see it. We should be out conversing, dating, enjoying things. I'm not even opposed to going for a walk after dinner. I don't understand people who say the whole date is just going for a walk and getting to know each. Man, to me, that is like some cheap. What is I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I just know I'm not entertaining it. And it makes it feel like I'm someone who's being mean or nasty or whatever. Now, to be clear, I'm in the tether right now. So I'm discussing it right now in a manner that's more upsetting. But when someone texts me that, what are you doing or how are you? Good morning. I take my time answering that back. I mean, unless it's a friend. Now, are you auditioning to be my friend? Cool. Cool. Then you don't need to be knowing what I'm wearing. You don't need to what? You don't need to tell me about how you appreciate a lady, how you don't start listing out your stuff. Because I got a list too. But my list I'm gonna discuss at dinner. Like there's some strange stuff happening in this dating street. So let me get to some other comments. Um, Definitely subtle. I read that. Yes, getting very forgetful. If you want to know what I'm doing, make plans. Hello. That's all I'm saying. So it's not just me. Oh, intuitive one got it figured out. It's not just me. That is freaking weird. And so one of my friends was like, well, that's just kind of how they do it now. That's how they do it with you. With you. Yeah, not with you, with you. That's how they do it with you. That's not how they're gonna do it over here. I can't. And so, what's the next 50 years got in store? It might be me being by myself, but I'm gonna be having a good time while I'm there. I'm not gonna be on some. I'm doing this. I'm no, because I feel like a lot of times men just do that. It's kind of like channel surfing. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like, yeah, that's a good term for it. I'm just coming up with it off rip. So forgive me if it don't quite sound right and I'm not clear. But it sounds like channel surfing. Like, what's Kymberly doing? What's Reba doing? What's Anastasia like? That's what it feels like. So when they send those texts and they're talking about what are you doing, they just channel surfing. They ain't got nothing else to do. They kind of bored. Because to me, if you were really interested in what I'm doing, you would be ready to meet me somewhere. And notice I said meet me somewhere because you don't need to be giving out your address like y'all be giving it out. That not even to Uber. Like he got to pay for an Uber. Don't he have the information still? Yeah. Don't. I'm not going for this. That channel surfing and all that stuff. If I'm bored enough to have a conversation, then cool. Maybe we'll talk. But even then, I'm not gonna talk that long because there's always something I can do around my house. I can pick something up. I can vacuum something. I can sweep something. I can dust something. It's I. I don't care if I'm just giving myself a pedicure. It's something else I can be doing rather than participating in your foolery called channel surfing. I'm good. Let me see. 10 minutes in the conversation. Yep. And I share that I'm on my way out the door. We got to stop accepting the mess. I agree. The minimal, bare minimal mess. That's all that is. And as soon as we stop accepting it, what they going to do? I mean, you could say they're going to get themselves a robot, but half of them too broke to get that anyway. They're just going to have to get them some act right. That's what you get. You get you some act right. You ain't going to get that robot. And if you get some act right, you might get you a woman. You might get you a lifelong partner. You might get you some joy. Because a lot of these men are kind of miserable too. And they're mad about the women who have the standards. They really are. Because the funny thing is, a lot of times they have one woman in their grasp, the one that settled for stuff and all of that. But it'd be the one that they're reaching for that they really want. And the ones that they're reaching for, those are the ones that they're trying to get them to lower their standards. Notice I'm saying them because I'm not necessarily categorizing myself as one or the other. But I know which one I ain't going to be. I don't know which one you got me categorized in. I just know where I ain't going to be. How about that? All right. Hey, Bridget. Who's Bridget? I don't see Bridget's name. Unless you happen to know that's what Intuitive One's name is. I don't know. But okay. Oh, now I see it. Why did that comment just pop up? That's so weird. So the response to Bridget popped up before the name. Hi, Bridget from California. Yeah, I was there as a teenager. I might have seen you. How you doing? It's good to have you here. I hope you've had a good time. I've been on here for an hour. I was really just trying to pop in, thinking I ain't got nothing to say. But I tell you, once funny, I can do it on here, but don't be a man trying to take up my time and have me just talk about nothing. We're not doing that. But I can get on here and just talk with the girls. We can talk about anything. Y'all got something else you want to talk about? I'll talk about it with you. Because if you don't know it and you can't tell yet, I got tons of opinions. Hey. Blue Hebrew says, hello, Bridget. Also, I like that name. I had a good friend named Bridget some years ago. Yeah, she passed from lupus, but she was good people. Haven't really mourned that. I've thought of her, but I haven't felt that loss in a little while. But yeah, for some reason it just came over me now. But look, you lose one and you get one. So hello, Bridget. Good to have you here. If y'all ain't got something else I need to be talking about, I guess I'll get my parts off. I don't want to just keep you on the phone like the men's do, talking about nothing. Although I did just spend a good hour talking about nothing. I hope you had a good time. I hope you found something to smile and laugh about. Yeah, that hour was pretty fast for me too, because what did I start off talking about? Oh gosh, I might have been just talking about my friend Wine. I don't know. Let's see. What do y'all think about Beyonce's win? I know she won Best Country Album, right? And I know there's some haters going on. The funny thing is, and I actually like some country music. It's not my favorite album, but I'm absolutely happy that she won it. I don't understand people who are saying that's not really our kind of music. That's not really. Yeah, it is. I mean, we're responsible for blues, country, all that stuff came from. I don't even want to get started on a lecture like that, but I feel like whatever we want to do is exactly what we can do. So I'm happy that she accomplished that. She's a hardworking lady. I tell you what, when she did that, oh, who did we play? No, it wasn't our game. I think it was someone else. But anyway, when she did the halftime entertainment before, I was sitting there trying to figure out how did she find a way to link up about 4 or 5 football fields and just keep walking. It seemed like she walked about 4 or 5 football fields, had different guests. I was highly entertained, even though I didn't care for the songs. That I don't care what nobody else says about her, whatever y'all are saying about her husband and all that other stuff. She got to be about the hardest working lady in showbiz. She deserves all the accolades. Fooling with me, she get all the flowers, whether I like the songs or not. Ladies, keep being your authentic selves. Amen. We have nothing missing, nothing broken, and nothing needs editing, but a whole soul looking for a whole soul. Yep, whole left shoe looking for the right one. Just trying to make conversation. I'm here with you for that. Thank you, Bridget. She said you are welcome. And yes, Bridget, I totally agree. Love Beyonce's win though. But anyway, that being said, I'm gonna get my happy parts off the phone. Thank you so much for clicking in. If you would please make sure that you hit the like button. I would appreciate that ever so much. It gives me more encouragement because y'all don't know I be real nervous. I be so nervous getting on these lives, and then y'all get me in the tether, and I start talking. The next thing I know, we at it. But anyway, with that being said, I will talk to you all probably in another vlog sometime soon. I keep saying, and I'm gonna stop telling that lie that I'm gonna come up with a live schedule, but I really can't think of a good time. If you all have some ideas, those of you who leave comments, let me know when is a good time. Maybe I need to put a poll out or something. But y'all see, I can talk. I can come up with stuff to talk about. But anywho, it says, oh, well, just got here. Yeah, and we got to go, Lori. I'm so sorry. But maybe you can play it back later. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, though. Anywho, I will talk to you all later. I hope you have a great evening, a fantastic week. Happy February. We are in Aquarius season. I am an Aquarian. What that means to me is not really anything. I don't know anything about zodiacs. I don't. I do know I'm an Aquarian, and I know my birthstone. I know my daughters, of course. But after that, who gets along with who and who shouldn't, and I don't know none of that. None of it. None of it. None of it. Let's see. I usually come in late, but I caught her today. Hey, Blue Heat, and I appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because y'all give me the stuff that I'm going to talk about when I get on live. Maybe I should at least come up with a topic, then get on live instead of just, hi, everybody, I'm here. Come hang out. But that's how I call my girlfriends for real. I'm like, girl, what you doing? You ain't doing nothing? Oh, okay, I'm about to call. That's how we do that. So y'all are my girlfriends. That's how I feel. All right. Hit like when I came in. I truly appreciate it. That being said, I guess I will talk to you all later. You all have a great week. Bye-bye.